A restraining order is just a piece of paper. This video is brought to you by the Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store, get the merch link in the description section. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime B Tatum go live. Let's talk about this. I'm not going to say any names. I'm just going to talk about the story. I'll put the link in the description section so you can read it yourself. I'm talking about, or I want to express to you guys about the issue of restraining orders and the falsehoods that's presented by the courts and even by some law enforcement officers about what that actually means for you. So a young lady with 2 kids pretty much had a fallout with her husband. Her husband threatened her, and then he decided to follow through with the threat. 2 big issues here. One is that her husband, who already had threatened her, had shown signs of aggression by, after getting a restraining order, coming and parking outside their apartment that they previously had with their children. She never called the police. She didn't want the police officers to get involved. She didn't want the situation to get any worse. Unfortunately, the worst that could have happened. And if she would have contacted the police and said something, she could have prevented herself and her kids from being harmed by her ex-husband. Or it was actually, I believe, still her husband at the time. The second biggest issue here, and I think it's probably the most glaring issue, is that the apartment complex requested that she provide the restraining order and information so that they can lock the doors or change the locks. They never did it. And then he ended up coming in there, and you can imagine what had happened after that. And so let me say this, because I want to protect, and I want to I'm a former police officer. Just in case this is your first time watching, I have done this for a living. I have given out, I don't know how many, or at least taken reports for restraining orders and served people with restraining orders and orders of protection. Let me say this to all of the women who are watching this, even men, but mostly women. What I used to tell women when I would give them or present I would take the report for the restraining order and I would serve them. I say, you need to purchase a firearm. You need to have something to protect yourself. This is a piece of paper. If this person was to violate this piece of paper, there's nothing that's going to stop them. We are only there to follow up after they have already violated the restraining order. We can't be proactive. You are one of thousands of people who have an active restraining order. So obviously there's things that you can do in the state of Arizona. You know, if you can break your lease, you can move, you can get the locks changed. Those things are not foolproof. And in this young lady's case, I would have told her as a police officer, if a family member, I would have encouraged her, you need to have something to protect yourself with. Because changing the locks ain't gonna stop him from kicking in the door. Changing your address ain't gonna stop him from finding out where you're at. But then when he or your address change ain't gonna stop him from running into you somewhere in the city and confronting you. So I'm not blaming the woman because obviously the dude is out of his mind, but I want people to be more informed and to have an idea that this is not a game. This young lady is one of many people that this happens to. This is not a game. That's a piece of paper. It's not a force field around you. Don't be afraid to get yourself protection. Don't be afraid to train and use it, especially when you have your children that's hanging in the wings of this violence that can be perpetuated against you. Go and get something today. If you're watching this and you have a restraining order against somebody, protect yourself today. Don't think this won't happen to me. Don't fall into the myth of thinking the police are going to respond when you call them on the phone right away. They're going to somehow be outside. Protect yourself. Your life depends on it. And I don't want this to be a negative video and make people feel bad. Somebody needs to hear this. This is important. I can serve as the liaison. If you're a family member, share this video. I can serve as a liaison to tell them, as a former police officer, get you a firearm so that you can protect yourself. Do never let a person who you're trying to restrain from seeing you have the advantage over you in a situation that was this violent. So anyway, I left the article in the description section so you guys can read it. It's a terrible situation. Both of the kids gone. He went out to a desert, used a tree. You know what I mean? Now he's gone. Very sad situation. The family was I mean, they were confused at what happened. People thought that he would never act this way. The restraining order actually led him down this path, according to a friend, said that he just continued to deteriorate because the restraining order prevented him from seeing his kids and his family, so on and so forth. I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but that's what the people around him said. So take heed to this video. This is not like my traditional video. I thought I'd say that so you guys can get some good knowledge and information that you can share with other people. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Have you ever gotten a restraining order against somebody? Have somebody ever violated your restraining order? Are you in fear that you buy yourself something to protect you with? Let me know in the comment section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live. Visit the About Tatum store for all the cool merch. Y'all know what it is. I'll see you on the next one.